joining us. His name is Craig Cook. He is Dr. Craig Cook, CEO of the Brain and Performance Center, and he's on the line with us right now. Hello.
Good morning, Shona. Good morning, Abdo.
Good morning to you, Dr. Craig. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. It's great to talk to you. A lot of people might not know that April is Autism Awareness Month, and can you tell us about your role, real quick? The Brain and Performance Center.
Yeah, definitely. I am the CEO of the Brain and Performance Center. It's a DP World company based in Jumeirah Lake Towers in Dubai. We are one of the largest hyperbaric medicine facilities in the world, and definitely here in the Gulf region. And we do many things, but one of the things we're talking about today is supportive treatments for children on the autism spectrum.
And the interesting thing about this is that you also have a son on the autism spectrum, right?
I do, yes. My wife and I have a son, Xander, and we have two other girls. But Xander is on the autism spectrum, that is for sure.
And how was that diagnosed exactly, if you don't mind me asking? At what age was your son diagnosed?
So Xander was diagnosed just around 18 months. So he had some regression, and we struggled, actually, to be fair, to have him diagnosed. He's now almost 9, but he was diagnosed at that time with non-verbal autism spectrum disorder, and over time he has now progressed into a pre-verbal state. So we're very glad that he continues to grow into a brilliant little man.
Wow.
What would you say to parents, in that go through a similar situation as you, because it might be confusing at first. You might not know exactly what's going on, or how did that, whole situation play out?
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. We were in a situation of confusion. We didn't know where to turn. I worked in another facility at that time in the medical space, and I sort of had access to all the care in the world, but I just wasn't able to get what Xander needed to be able to progress. So, we continued to explore, and I think the message that I would say to parents is never give up.
Right.
Only now when he is, he was 7.5 when he started his treatment program at the Brain and Performance Center. Mm-hmm. And only then he really started to progress. Right. We went through ABA therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and it's a long journey, and you need to stay the course.
I also think it's so important, as well as parents obviously being aware. I think younger people need to know more about autism as well. I'm talking really young ages. I'm sure you'll agree with me, because when I was, I would say 13 years old in school, I had a friend that had a brother with severe autism, and I didn't know anything about it. And I went to her house and I met her brother, and it took me by surprise a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so important that we are getting ourselves educated on this, no matter what age you are. Do you agree with me, Craig?
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you, Shona. And I'll say that Xander's one of his largest advocates is his sisters. One is 2 and one is 10. And both Zuri and Zola are his biggest advocates, not only in education, but for being there for him. And education of, people that are in their circles, in their peer groups as children. That education is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
It's very important. And now you've been in the UAE, you said, for more than 25 years?
Yeah, I've been here a long time, yes.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to come back and talk about how the UAE is shifting from awareness to a more structured inclusion approach. There's policies that have been put in place, and I'm sure you can attest to, when we were growing up, there was many policies were not in place. Everything has been really developed over the last 20 years to autism. So when we come back, we're going to talk about what the UAE is doing and how autism support looks like today.
There we go. Don't go anywhere. It's Channel 4, and we are catching up this morning with Dr. Craig Cook. He is the CEO of the Brain and Performance Center, a DP World company. We'll chat more just after this.
Autism Awareness Month is happening right now all throughout the month of April, and we've got Dr. Craig Cook on the line with us. He is the CEO of the Brain and Performance Center, which is a DP World company.
Legend. Here we go. With Shona on 104.8 Channel 4.
That's right. So it is local legends right here. We love this. Craig Cook, Dr. Craig Cook. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Shona.
No worries.
So quick question. We were just talking about how the UAE is shifting from awareness to a more inclusion approach, right? Now, over the years, over the last 20 to 30 years, a lot of these policies were not in place. So it's something that's been developing because it was something like kind of taboo to talk about in the 70s and 80s and 90s. But now you see a lot more, awareness that's been happening over the last, I say 10 to 20 years, right? Could you tell us, first of all, what is the difference between awareness and inclusion?
I think that's a really great question. And just to echo your sentiments, we have as a country developed quite a lot. There's still opportunities for us to continue that. But from an awareness to inclusion perspective, it's where the rubber hits the road. It's really providing facilities, whether that be schooling, whether that be insurance for treatments, things of this nature. We're seeing great feedback from the airlines. We're seeing great feedback from other government institutions. But we really can continue this growth throughout schooling and really turn inclusive schooling forward for our children.
We've had a message here actually on our SMS line from Mike. He said, could there be related conditions alongside autism like ADHD or other forms of neurodevelopmental conditions as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think that sometimes symptoms present together. Sometimes they present in isolation. The autism diagnosis, and it's called autism spectrum disorder for a reason. There's so many elements to this spectrum. And I think that, each child and each adult who's diagnosed can present with uniquely different symptoms.
So inclusion is becoming more visible now to all of us across multiple sectors, from schools to public spaces. Even Dubai RTA unveiled sensory rooms for people with autism. So what are some of the biggest changes that we've seen, besides, the what RTA has done? Like, what is happening in schools right now?
Well, I think schools, for example, whether it be in any of the Emirates, it's an evolving space. Now, our child, and I'll talk about Xander, my wife and I struggled to find the right school for him for a long time.
Right.
And because he was nonverbal and then transitioning now into pre-verbal space, a lot of the schools, even though they have inclusion programs, aren't able to support someone who is non or pre-verbal. So I think we're starting to see growth in this area. And the regulators, whether it be KHDA or ADEC, are really trying to find ways to support our children. But I do think we have a little bit further to go.
And how have you helped, from the Brain and Performance Center along the way? Because I know you've been involved in the process here in the UAE as well, right?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things that happen. We partner with the DP World Foundation to provide care for children who really can't afford it. So that's something that we're really doing to give back. And last year, and also again this year, my wife and a team from the Brain and Performance Center trekked Mount Everest Base Camp.
Wow.
To raise funds and to be able to raise awareness. And from that trek alone, we've been able to help last year about 30 children go through our treatment program at the Brain and Performance Center.
That's amazing. Is there some place that people can actually donate? That's very important actually for autism awareness as well.
Yeah, I think what would be really important is by all means reach out to us at the center, and we will then connect you with the DP World Foundation, who is the licensed charity that we work with here in the UAE.
Amazing, amazing. Before we go, do you have any final thoughts or statements that you want to, someone's listening right now that might be, interested in getting to know more information or might be facing these challenges themselves?
Yeah, I think, Abdo, one thing that's really important is to tell parents that they're not alone.
Right.
Quite simply, there are many people going through similar struggles like you. They are people that are really trying to figure out and navigate this world. But just to know that you're not alone. There are centers out there. There are people out there, and there are advocates that will really be there for you when you need it.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. We really appreciate all your insights as well. And it is so important to talk about it as well. And especially with you, Dr. Craig Cook, who knows everything about it, way more than we do.
That's right.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
If you want to get in touch
Thanks,
with
guys.
Dr. Craig Cook, make sure you check out our socials, Channel 4 Dubai. We have a picture and we've tagged your performance center and your socials as well. So if somebody could want to reach out to you, talk with you privately, please check out the socials at Channel 4 Dubai. You'll see we've listed Dr. Craig Cook. Thank you so much, doctor. And God bless you and your family, you know, for all that you're doing as well.
Thank you so much, Shona. Thank you. Have a great day, and
You
thanks
too.
for
Thank
taking
you.
care of this very important subject.
Much
Thank
love
you.
to you.
Lots of love. Amazing chat with Dr. Craig Cook there. Oh, I just love speaking to people from wherever they are, whatever industry they're in as well, and hearing their insights.
It's very important, man. It's very, because I feel like we've all faced, we've all encountered somebody with autism at some point or another. And we need to know, man, that we need to know about inclusion, the biggest difference.
We tend to shy away from these things sometimes
Right.
as well, because we're a bit fearful to offend someone or to say the wrong thing. But it's so important that we talk about it.